Hello everyone, I'm Alec from AJay Farms, and welcome to another update. As you can see, the plants are doing much better than they were in the last update. Some of them are still a little but a lot of them are doing much better, and the growth lately has been completely explosive. And the good news is, because they're doing so well, a lot of the roots have actually started to come out of the bottom of the cups and into the second cup, so I've been able to start feeding them with hydroponic nutrients from the bottom, which has been helping a lot to how they've been growing. So without further ado, let's get into it and see how all the plants are doing. So first we have the California Wonder bell pepper. For whatever reason, my bell peppers tend to flop over and then start growing up. I actually have a bigger one that's done that. And if you want to see it, just let me know. I can put pictures in the next video. But yes, they like to flop over and then grow and do weird things, but other than that, they do pretty well. Here we've got the orange blob, still a little leggy and a little small, but doing well. We have two of my Carolina Reapers. I actually finally separated them. These were the two smaller ones. They're recovering from being transplanted pretty well. And then here are the other two Carolina Reapers. These were the two bigger ones. They're doing much better. They're starting to get really bushy, which is a good sign. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see, I won't be able to see on this, but the side shoots are starting to grow out a little bit. So I'll be able to top those soon. These are my early jalapeno peppers. Leggy as always, but that happens sometimes. These are the MOA Scotch bonnets that I started over. A third one decided to pop up, I think, 3 weeks later. I'm not going to complain about that, but they're pretty small. But they're doing well. Much better than the first set. Here are my cabbages. They are a little leggy and floppy, but they're starting to grow, and I just give them a gentle shake like this every day to try to strengthen up the stems. And then the beefsteak tomatoes. I also transplanted these because I think I had 6 or 7 of them. I can't quite tell. But they're doing pretty well. They are starting to lean over a little bit because I have them on the sides of the container. So I will need to, as you can see here, they're leaning over. I'll need to rearrange how everything's placed, but these are doing very, very well. Here I have the Gigantica jalapenos. I had to start these over too, so they finally came up. They're doing pretty well. They're a little leggy. As you can see, they're very floppy, but they're okay. And before I forget, I actually want to show you a little experiment that I've been doing. I have 2 set up growing areas for my plants, and this actually produced surprising results. One of them has an actual grow light, that's the blue container, and the other one is like a little plastic enclosure that I made that just has a regular floor lamp on top of it. This is the plant that was in the tub with the grow light. This is the one that was in the container with the floor lamp. And I thought that this one, since it was under the actual grow light, which is specified for plant growth, would do better and get a lot bigger and bushier. But no, I was wrong. While this one is a little bit leggier because the floor lamp I'm using isn't made for plant growth, it's just to light up a house. You can see the distance between the leaf nodes is much greater than this one right here. But what I noticed is that this one actually had a thicker stem and bigger leaves, and I believe the roots were even longer. Oh wait, no, these haven't grown out yet. No, but actually no, I think they did. Yes, the roots even started growing out a little bit, whereas on the other one they didn't, which surprised me, so this one's actually doing better despite not being in the optimal conditions for plant growth. But yes, those are the peach Scotch bonnets. I separated those because they're getting very bushy and crowding each other out a little bit too much. And then these right here are the Roma tomatoes. I transplanted them as well. I think I have 8 of them, yes. And this one, for some reason, is bigger. I don't know why one set decides to grow bigger and one doesn't. But yes, this one's also leaning over, so I have to rearrange where that one is. Next I have the Bahamian goat peppers. This little tiny guy right here keeps getting shaded out by the bigger one, so I'm going to have to switch that around so it gets a chance to grow. But these are the other 2. They're doing very well. You need to constantly shift them around so they don't shade each other out. But yes, they're getting very bushy, which is making me excited because I'll be able to start topping them soon. And speaking of topping, this is my Scotch Brains, which I actually did top. It's been facing that way towards the light, so all the new side shoots are on that side. But I'm going to turn it around, but you can see it's very short, and it's not as bushy as the others, like in terms of large leaves, but the amount of leaves is making it very bushy. Because when you top your pepper plants, they actually grow out the side shoots, which makes them have more branches, which in turn will make them grow more fruit. Here I have the yellow Carolina Reaper. This is one of the plants that's only kind of recovering. It's growing very, very slowly, but it's okay. It's starting to pick up a little bit. It is a little bit yellow in the center. Just have to make sure it's not getting overwatered because it's very humid in that container, so it holds on to water. Here are the orange habanero peppers. They're also doing very well. As you can see, they're starting to get pretty big and starting to take off. Here I have the Bahamian Beast. This is another plant that I topped off. I know I did it a little bit early, but I got excited and I just wanted to let them grow out a little bit bushier. And the side shoots were already starting to grow out, so I was like, okay, why not? They're doing pretty well. Here's the Sweet 100 hybrid cherry tomato. I had one and I planted a few more seeds. They finally popped up. I am going to transplant them as the secondary seeds that I planted get a little bit bigger so they can get a little stronger and have less risk of dying off from transplant shock. Here is the sweet banana pepper. This is one of the ones that for whatever reason just does not want to do well. It's leggy, the leaves are kind of deformed and growing all weird and a bit damaged, and I'm not sure. It looks like this thing got attacked, but I'll see what I can do. If it doesn't do much better, I'll probably have to restart it, and it's not too much of an issue. Here we have the Black Beauty eggplant. This is one of the plants that I am most impressed with. As you can see, it's pretty much exploded. The leaves are getting really large. The side shoots, which unfortunately you won't be able to see, are starting to grow out. But it's getting really, really big. I still have no idea what the discoloration on the leaves is, but it's not really spreading, so I'm not worried about it. But this is one of the other ones that has the roots starting to grow out, as you can see right there. So what I do is I just add a little bit of water, which is already drank up, to the bottom, and let it go from there. And I do that every 3 or 4 days or so because the container that they're in is so humid that if I tried to water them more often, they would get overwatered. And then here we have my onion plants. I'm not saying the whole name, but they're doing pretty well. I do keep them trimmed, as you can probably tell from the shortened little stems right there, because it tends to get very, very long and try to touch the light and get all crazy and cover everything up. But this is another one that has very, very long roots at the bottom. Well, long for the rest of my plants. But yes, they can get much crazier and get all tangled up. So, yes, these are all the plants. And it's finally starting to get a little warm outside, so what I do is I'll take some of them out in kind of a rotating schedule and leave them by the door so they can get some real sunlight as the sun gets into the right position. And they enjoy that very much, which is probably one of the reasons why they're also doing so well. But it'll help with the leaning if I can get them into some real sunlight. And for the really leggy ones, I make sure to get them a little bit of extra so they can get a little stronger. But yes, those are all the plants, and as you can see, they're all doing pretty well. And I'll be back in about a week for another update, and I can show you some of the things I have growing outside, because I have some cold weather crops that are doing pretty well since it's not freezing anymore at night. So we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.